Let's return now to the defence restructure announced yesterday by the Minister Richard Marles. Joining me now for his take, former Army Director General, retired Brigadier Ian Langford. Ian, thank you for your time. I kicked off the show with my thoughts about this, but the announcement yesterday, no supporting documents, just a 1.5-page press release. I worked for Robert Hill in 2005 when we created the DMO. We brought it all in together for procurement. It didn't work. We dismantled it all. Feels like we're going back to the future because we're doing it all over again.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Great to be here and good evening to your viewers. It does feel that with 1.5 pages as a press release that there is a need for greater detail. We've seen the department and the Deputy Prime Minister acknowledge that there is a problem with defence procurement, but we've seen part of the solution, if you like, in the limited information release yesterday, that it seems to be a return of the days of the Defence Material Organisation, which, as you said, was disbanded in 2015 under the First Principles Review. What's really important here is to acknowledge that we have a problem. The challenge will be now in seeing the detail and understanding critically how we leverage our acquisition system to be agile enough to meet the challenges of our time. We all acknowledge that we have reduced or zero warning time now for conflict. We understand the urgency around defence capability. And what is important and critical at this time is that we move away from a process that's focused on bureaucracy and committee-based decision-making to something that enables service chiefs, soldiers, sailors and aviators to have a voice that puts urgency into buying the platforms and systems they need to win wars on behalf of this nation.
I couldn't agree more. And I said as much that we've got to put, I guess, the people who use the kit at the front line of the decision-making, not just at the front line of using it. I also think a problem, and I will just say something too on the jobs, all these bureaucrats that have contributed to the broken system have all been guaranteed their jobs again. Well, I think that's crackers, figuratively, put them against the wall and shoot half of them and start again. I mean, bring in some external private sector experience if we need to deliver the same sort of private sector outcomes that we just can't seem to deliver in the public sector. But why in Australia do we insist on getting something that's working very well in the United Kingdom or in the United States, saying, well, we need that kit here in Australia, and then we'll just play with it, make it better, and it'll cost us double the money and double the time? Why don't, for half of this stuff, Ian, we buy it off the shelf and get it into the field as soon as possible?
It's a really good point, Peter, you make. And again, I'd just point to the examples in this country around the acquisition about 10 years ago of the C-17 heavy lift aircraft, which was necessary to get us urgently in and out of the Middle East. Army has procured Chinook, Black Hawk and Apache helicopters through a foreign military sale program, which again comes literally out of the box at cost and on time. And Navy bought the Bay-class ship, the HMAS Chills, to meet a capability need urgently in 2011, which again was another direct commercial sale from the UK. So those three examples are where an operational need has been met through either a foreign military sale or a direct commercial sale is an example of what right looks like going forward. And I think the Defence Department tries to do its best on behalf of the taxpayer, but the inertia and the bureaucracy and the process that leads to an acquisition outcome which is either overpriced, overscheduled or insufficient to capability is not what we need going forward.